what I got. Was that too aggressive of a start? I finished my sketchbook! Finally! Oh my god, this took me entirely way too long, much longer than I had planned, but I know many of you are very excited about this, so we will just get into it. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well. In case you missed the last few videos that I posted, the reason this took me so long is because I had a little bit of a secret going on. I wanted to develop a whole world of characters and like a plot and everything off camera so I can surprise you all with it, which on the upside is really fun and you guys get a little treat every single month. You get a new character you've never seen before. But then also on the downside, this took me almost a year to finish this sketchbook, which for a sketchbook this big, I don't normally take that long. Also on the upside, I guess, there is a lot to go through because when I wasn't sketching in my sketchbook, I would sketch on loose sheets of paper and I would tape them in here or put them in my little pocket thingy, so we got a lot to get through. I guess first, the stickers, since everyone's gonna ask me about them. These two are my own stickers that you can get in my Redbubble shop, link in the description. These Pokemon stickers I got when I got some Pokemon cards. These cacti stickers I got them from Joann's, I think. These are from Cracker Jacks. These little ones are from when I got my Huion tablet, and they're like stickers that you can put on the tablet so you can remember which program buttons or what, you know. The Geico sticker. Marine Life Rescue I got in an aquarium. I don't even know where these stickers came from. I just had them, so I stuck them here. And then this I got when I bought these pencils, because they're called Mr. Pen. I don't know why when they're pencils. And their logo's a little mustache. So there we go. There's my stickers. I'm sorry I don't have any cool stickers from cool artists, but I mean, they're just stickers I had and wanted to get rid of. In here, there's a whole bunch of scrap sheets of paper with like drawings on them. I will go through this at the end. There's also some stuff that might be a little strong to start the video off, we'll say. This was also from a video back when I started this sketchbook. This is my character Rhea. By the way, this ribbon here didn't come with the sketchbook. I taped it in here because I like to have like a bookmark ribbon thing so I can just flip open to whatever page I need it to. If you remember this video, the washi tape did indeed come off of here, which I entirely expected. It's fine because we're not even looking in this sketchbook anymore. We don't need to work in this anymore. Here's an example of some scrap doodles of paper of Phoenix and Edgeworth from Ace Attorney. You'll notice that that's a trend in this sketchbook. Raycon sticker, and this is a sticker that I had when I was testing out to see how my printer at home made stickers, because it can print on photo paper pretty well. It didn't go as planned. Of course, we have the title page of the sketchbook. A lot of people get nervous to fill in the first page of a sketchbook, but I always really get excited because I love doing pages like this where it's like a nice introduction page. This is another character of mine, Arietta, and whenever I look back at my older art, all I can think of are like the eyes, because I used to draw them so far apart. So hopefully as the sketchbook goes on, you see me improve with that. Here are more characters. These characters, this character, and this character. If you don't know my characters, that word's beginning to lose all meaning. They're all from like the same universe, and you can actually learn about them through a little playlist I'll link up in the iCard for you. I usually like to make a list of goals for me to try to achieve throughout the sketchbook. Most of the time I don't do all of them. If I'm lucky, I'll get half of them, but it's always nice to have a little list so that if you don't know what to draw, you can always just go back to that. This is Robin, Bugbot, Radshark, Jax, Micah. This is when I was still really working on their design and trying to fit them both into the story that they're in now. So they look a little different to how you might know them. Auga. Here Jax starts to look a little bit more like how you guys know them, but they're still not quite themselves in here. And same with Micah. I would say that Micah had an easier like outfit and everything to design than Jax, because with him it was more of just nailing down the finer details. Whereas with Jax, I had a really tough time coming up with like a silhouette and like specific shapes and like just them. You know, I'm sure you know what I mean. Oh god, this is an old drawing. This was just after I finished the 100 heads challenge in Sketchbook 18. And then when I started this sketchbook, like way at the beginning, I was still like fresh off of that challenge. I kind of wanted to make an illustration of one of my characters, this is Sawyer, and just try and apply what I've learned, but more in my art style. And then here we got little thumbnails. And this is a thumbnail for my end of the year drawing for 2020. Here's Cairo, Sawyer, Mabel. It's so weird looking back on these because I've just been really thinking about their newer designs and their new environment. They used to live in a much more like realistic world, but now they live in a like very futuristic world, so it's very different. And I revamped their designs, but here they are. I was originally going to like watercolor this, and then I just straight up didn't because I got lazy. This is Noe. I did this in watercolors, and then this little rectangle, I think I just had some spare stuff on my palette, so I mixed it all together and then made a square. She is from the webcomic that I'm working on, which subscribers of my channel will know very well as the comic that is yet to happen, but I'm working on it, I promise. Chapter 1 is coming along very nicely. These things, first of all, they're not dating, so we can just ignore that. But second of all, I think this is actually when Anthony Padilla posted his like Maid Cafe documentary type video. And I was watching that, and so I was like, let me just draw a maid outfit. So I drew Andy in a maid outfit, because of course I did. Oh boy. I think this was around the time when I started trying to avoid drawing in this sketchbook. As you can see, didn't make it very far until I decided to just develop a whole ass new story. We'll talk about these papers in a minute. Underneath here, I wanted to do some updates to my Redbubble shop, which hasn't happened yet, but there's some stuff in the works. I wanted to update the Art Warrior sticker slash shirt slash whatever design I have. This is just a little drawing I made. They have literally nothing to do with anything. I wanted to update that. This doesn't stick anymore. We'll just place that there. I wanted it to make like a little olive thing with like a beret and like a paintbrush thing, because I'm Oliver and olives. It's not funny. And then here I wanted to design something because I have this like fake brand of clothing that I'll draw on a certain set of characters, and it's just like a fake brand in the world, so I wanted to make like a little thing to sell. Hasn't happened yet, obviously. These are all different thumbnails. This is, I think, this same character over here. This was when I was drawing Freed from Fairy Tail for my alphabetical order series. This was when I was thumbnailing Chihiro from Danganronpa. I made a video about them and talking about like their whole gender situation. If you don't know a whole lot about Danganronpa, basically, there's a big discourse about whether or not Chihiro's writing is transphobic or if it's supposed to be more commentary on like gender roles, more specifically like in Japan. I put a lot of effort into that video, and that video was very well received, so good job us. This was when I had like a stack of printer paper next to my, oh god, gay lawyers. This is also, starting the sketchbook was around the time that I really got into Ace Attorney, so you might see a lot of this. So I'm editing this video, and for some reason I'm getting a really big memory of using a reference picture for this picture right here. I don't remember what the reference picture is, or if I even used a reference picture, but if this looks like a picture you've seen, probably on Pinterest, because that's where I'm often lurking for references, feel free to let me know. I always write down whenever I use a reference, so it's very likely that this doesn't have a reference, but I just wanted to be sure. Anyways, back to the video. I didn't mean for my gay lawyer drama to take over my life, but here we are. But I had a stack of printer paper next to my computer desk, and so I would just like doodle on it whenever I was waiting for a video to export or whatever, or if I was procrastinating. Maurice Attorney, oh my god. Here's this. Some of the phase, and of course a little that. You know the deal. Can you guess what this is? Oh my god, this one. Like I have to do this. This is just how I can fit it. I'll flip this in the editing phase. Can you tell I was really just, I had a problem. I still do, to be honest. This one just doesn't stick, so I could just take this off. This is actually colored digitally. I guess I'll put a picture of it up here. I really like this sketch. It's a nice one. Some people thought that this was, what's his name? Levi from Attack on Titan. I don't watch Attack on Titan. I don't know if this is a controversial opinion, but I think it's overrated. Granted, I've only seen season 1. When I started watching it, it was only season 1 released, and oh my god. But I watched season 1 and it was really boring. Like, I didn't think it was interesting until like the end, and then it was like I just wasn't invested enough to continue. Anyway, more Ace Attorney. This was, I think, before I even started playing the games. These drawings came after, in case you couldn't tell. This, I think, was when I finished watching the Game Grumps playthrough, which is how I ended up getting into it. These are little doodles from a bullet journal that I had, which I used as a journal, but I don't anymore, so I started doodling in it, again, to avoid drawing in the sketchbook. So I cut out a bunch of them and taped them in here. Phoenix and Edgeworth, who would have thought? Phoenix, a redraw of one of his sprites. This I also colored digitally. I'll put a picture up here. Oh, some spice! The last video that I posted, I made a comment about me drawing a picture of Jeremy not wearing pants, and I'm surprised not more people commented about it. But here's that, and Remy also not wearing pants or anything really. And then Jeremy died because she's just too hot for him to handle. Anyways, this is the first concept sketches of Ellie, the first character in this universe. She's the only character that you guys like technically know about unless you follow me on Instagram. But here are her first concept sketches. She looks fairly similar to how she ended up. I just kind of tweaked like the finer details of her. And here is the start of these fucking things. The video I posted before this one was me just coloring a bunch of finished illustrations. This one wasn't in that video. It was just a bunch of finished illustrations of each of my main stories, aside from this one, because it was too new. So these are the characters in the webcomic that I am working on. Here's more sketches of Ellie, me just trying to figure her out. She originally had like this really long hair, and her hair is still fairly long, but I decided to like pull it back and make it a little bit shorter, just because given her character, I thought that that was a little bit more practical for her. And figuring out what her swimsuit underneath her clothes looks like, figuring out her jacket, which doesn't look a whole lot like that anymore. Jeremy, Aurora, Remy. This is the first background illustration I made in that video. I like how when you close it, you can see where they are in the sketchbook. It's really funny. Is it really funny though, or am I just easily amused? You be the judge of that. Yo. Here's the second character of my newer story. I thought about censoring him out until I post his video, which I am going to be blurring out the rest of the characters to keep them a surprise, but I thought you could see him. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have already seen him anyways, so I figured I'll let you have this one. I also forgot to mention that I will be posting the sketchbook spreads that you didn't see to the community tab on my YouTube channel after those videos have gone up. I don't have a whole lot of sketches of every single character in my sketchbook, because most of the work I did on these characters was digitally, but you will see those pages at some point. I figured I should do that instead of just leaving you all hanging. This isn't his final design, this is just me working on some concepts. This isn't like too far off from his final design, but I really struggled with like his color scheme and figuring him out and like where to place the colors. In the end, it didn't look too far off from this. I think the main difference between them and their original concept sketches is that they were aged up just a tiny bit, not a whole lot. Originally, he was 19 and she was 23, but now he's 23 and she's 26. So just a few years. Another drawing from that video. I drew these like forever ago and then just finished coloring them a few days ago as of recording this, so. But all of these characters, except for this little one back here, that's Andy, all of these characters have been redesigned, so they don't look like this anymore. Well, this is gonna be fun for me to edit. I had to like wait at my mom's work for something, and so while I was waiting her to finish up, I was just doodling on some post-it notes. So we got Ellie, we got Ash, a bunch of characters you don't know about. Oh god, how do I'll just take these off, it's fine. Me trying to really get to know Ash. His personality came really easy to me. Can't wait for you guys to see all these characters. I don't remember exactly how they were placed down, so yeah, this one was here, and this one was here. Cool, we can now proceed. Another background illustration from that video. It's funny, when I was filming this, like these pages back here, since they were all like concept sketches for my news story, I was trying so hard to like not flip over them, but these pages, they don't flip between themselves easily, I guess is the best way I can explain it, so I kept accidentally showing them and had to do a lot of editing to make sure nothing was shown. Oh look, more Ace Attorney. These are just a bunch of like, I think this is, what is this called? I don't know, just decorative paper that I had. I pasted a bunch here because of the marker bleed through. That's also what these were. It's not that these don't bleed through, it's that I pasted a bunch of different papers here so I can still have something on the spread. Franziska, and then Mr. Miles Edgeworth. I really liked this pen sketch under here, but because of like the floral pattern on the paper, you couldn't really see it. It made it like very faded, I guess. So I tried adding some colored pencil on it, which did help, but you still couldn't see as much of it as I would have liked. So I used some tracing paper and did some line art, which I like a lot less than the sketch, but I mean, what can you do? He's one of my favorites to draw. And another illustration from my last video. This one's my least favorite out of all of them, but I mean, it's fine. They can't all be winners. This is the page that I kept flashing throughout the other video. One of my favorite things to draw is Robin, but bunny girl, because of course it is. This was also on a loose sheet of paper, which I decided to use some Ohu markers to color. Definitely not good enough paper for alcohol markers, but I did it anyways. And then under here is actually thumbnails for when I were talking about this like set of characters. If this is the first video you're seeing of mine every single month, the last video I make of the month is me talking about a different character that I have. And here I was talking about the different characters within this universe. There's Robin. I was thumbnailing drawings of the different characters for me to make in those videos. This drawing isn't totally aligned. It was aligned, and then it was like, how about no, and then it moved. More Ace Attorney bullshit. Underneath here was a drawing I was making in gouache. This was around the time I finished the second game, so I wanted to draw the Ace siblings, dare I say. This was supposed to be in gouache, but I never finished it, and then at some point, just too much time had passed for me to care about doing it anymore. Another drawing of them, another drawing of them, another drawing of them, another drawing of them. This I ended up redrawing digitally, and I believe was a speed paint. Oh god, what was the video? I think it was When Your Hobby Becomes Your Job. I believe that's what it is, but don't quote me on that. Oh no, a drawing of Gumshoe, everyone's favorite guy. A little sketch of Maya. I always really liked this one, it was neat. Drawing of Mia, all from Ace Attorney. The proportions were really whack, so I just drew a picture of me saying that the proportions were really whack. Gumshoe, what happened, bud? Hold on, buddy. Taped in once again. Little drawings of Maya, a little doodle of the gay shit. I always like to do these sort of halfway spreads. I did it. So this is the exact middle part of my sketchbook. I like to do the beginning pages, as you saw, and this is just a nice thing to do to help keep track of your progress. It's Aspen, Milo, Bishop, Lincoln, and Beatrix. Here's Kay Faraday from Ace Attorney. I had just finished playing the investigations game, so I just had to draw Kay because of course I did. I love her. I want her to be in a main series game, but she probably won't be because Capcom is full of cowards. This I think was also going to be in watercolor, and then I just didn't because I didn't really like this paper for finished illustrations, to be honest. More drawings of Kay. And then this little doodle of Edgeworth. I really liked it, so I just taped it in here. This is like, I really like it. It's a neat little doodle. It's like so simple, but I love it. This page is all going to be censored. Some concept sketches for one of the characters in my universe. I can't wait for you to meet her. A little doodle of Arietta, a thing of Tim Hortons. I'm not from Canada, but I am from Buffalo, New York, which is like right next to Canada. It was just a common thing as a kid for me to just drive past the Peace Bridge and just look over, and Canada was there. So we did have Tim Hortons, and I love it. I don't live there anymore, but my grandma sent me a thing of Tim Hortons K-Cups for my Keurig. So I taped it in here because of memories. This I think I was starting to thumbnail for the cover page. This was from when I did my 3 marker challenge, but 4 times. I since went through my art supplies and got rid of the ones that I didn't use or need, which did involve me getting rid of some alcohol markers, so I don't have all of these anymore. I did a whole bunch of 3 marker challenges. This one was with all of my Copics, and then some thumbnails underneath here. This one was with my Ohu markers, I believe, and then some thumbnails under here. These are thumbnails for a different one, which you'll see in a little bit. This was a thumbnail for my miscellaneous markers, just random ones that I didn't have like a whole lot of. This one was by far the hardest for me to make. In case you didn't see it, it was this. 2 dark greens and a bright red. So I did what I could. And then some thumbnails underneath there. This was when I made that video drawing a bunch of different OCs of like different YouTubers. That video was a lot of fun. Shout out if you could pick these 3 out just by name and the tiny scribbles of a thumbnail. Trucy Wright. This was before I ended up playing Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, but I always really liked Trucy's design, so I had to draw her. I really love this little doodle. I think it's adorable. Emma Sky in the evolution of. I really like Emma. I wanted to draw each iteration of her. These are also going to be in watercolors, but I didn't. And then this, I ended up like redrawing her face because the eyes were just so far apart I couldn't handle it. So when I came back and looked at it later, I fixed it, which is why her face is a lot whiter than the rest of the paper. I love this little doodle. It's adorable. This was, oh god, when was this? I think some time had really passed between these. I believe I was almost finished with the series at this point. But I wanted to draw a lot of Trucy and Phoenix from Ace Attorney 4. I like this one. This one is just kind of me trying to fill in space. And this type of pose filled in the space. Here's the fourth one from my 3 marker challenge video. This, I believe, was all of my markers mixed together, so like no specific brand. I really liked the vibe of her character, and for a character that I just kind of threw down on the paper for a video, I really liked her design. So I wanted to work on her design a little bit more and then add her to a story. So this was during a sketch vlog. Her name is Millicent, but I call her Millie. Some of me trying to figure out her design. Under here is more Millie, also from that video. This is from when I ordered some stuff, what was it, Fangamer? I ordered 2 separate packages. I was a little nostalgic for Undertale, so I got the Undertale art book and then the collector's edition of Undertale for the Switch. And both of those packages came with this little postcard, so I have one hanging on my wall, and then I taped the extra one in here because it kind of fit with the spread. That is the artist, if that's too, I don't know if this is too small to read on camera, but I'll edit some text if it is. And then here is the final spread of Millie. I really like her shoes. And just her design in general. Fairies have never been like my favorite thing, so it was really interesting trying to like make a fairy character, and I really like her. She's adorable. I think this was when I beat Spirit of Justice, and so I wanted to draw older Maya. I think without her little hood thing, her design is a little bit boring, just because it's practically the same as her younger design, but with a longer robe. So I really like it with the hood, because it just makes it a little bit different and fun and jazzy. Some more sketches of Millie. This was around the time where I posted the video, so I was just really into drawing her. I don't think I ever got a chance to mention it. She does become quite fond of Jax, so I made a little doodle of them. They might have accidentally adopted her, but I really like drawing her. She's fun. Here I was just really thinking about Ace Attorney 4 because I really loved the 3 of them whenever they interacted. Some Apollo, Clavier. Is that how you say his name? Piano.
Klavier.
And then Trucy. I just always really loved the 3 of them whenever they interacted. I thought they were quite a trio, so I drew them. And then Mandatory Klapalo. I can say words. I always thought that they were fun together, but then one day I just really thought of them and I was like, oh my god, them. So I just drew a bunch of them. Can you tell that this has become a big problem in my life? Oh look, more Ace Attorney, what a shocker. This was also like around the time where I beat Spirit of Justice, so I wanted to draw them. I always pronounced her name as Rifa, but then I think in one of the animated cutscenes in the game, they pronounced her name Rafa, and just like really threw me for a loop because I always in my mind like it was Rifa. And then, how do I say his name? Nayuda?
Nayuda.
Nayuda.
We'll go with that. Anyone, feel free to correct me. More gay lawyer shit. Gay lawyer family shit. Nothing out of the ordinary here. This, I meant to draw some art of them when I beat Dual Destinies, but then I didn't. This is Athena and Simon. This doesn't have anything to do with the video, but I did make a video talking about Athena's design because a lot of people have issues with it, but as a character design person, artist, someone who loves character design, I really love and appreciate her design, so if you have some opinions about Athena's design, or if you're just curious, then feel free to check that out. Most of this is gonna be blurred. These are characters from my secret universe. I like this one. Ash, no. Ash, yes! That about sums up their relationship. All of this I'm gonna blur because it's of a character that you don't know about yet, but even if you did know of them, I don't think I could show you anyway. It's a little, spicy, let's say. Here's some quick fairy tale scribbles. I've always really liked the anime fairy tale, and I had yet to draw any in this sketchbook, so I drew them. The Loxus and the Thunder Legion, Freedom of Boy, and then Wendy, Lucy, and Urza. I'm definitely not as into it as I used to be, but I would still consider it my favorite series, and it has a special place in my heart. These are both drawings from my most recent redrawing old art video. I say recent, but I think it's a few months old at this point. I got my characters Luca and Aurori, and also the beginning of me starting to redesign them. This is pretty much what Luca looks like now. I think I switched which wrist the watch is on. There we go. But this is essentially what the new Luca looks like. Rory looks pretty different from this. I did post a video fairly recently of me redesigning. It's always this page. This is the I always, whenever I flip through my sketchbook, just like open to a random page, it's always this page. But anyways, this whole cast of characters, if you want to see me like working on their newer designs, I have a video of that. So, and then underneath these, here we have Milo hanging out with Beatrix. And then over here, we have Bishop hanging out with Lincoln. I always like the idea of Milo getting along well with Beatrix, and then Bishop getting along well with Lincoln, and then Aspen being really upset because she really likes Lincoln and Beatrix, but she really does not like Milo and Bishop. That's something that has just always been a thing in my head, but I don't think I've ever, like, visually shown, so there you go. Here's some more art from that Redrawing Old Art video. Nothing super fancy here, just a bunch of different Andy expressions. One of these isn't from an old art thing, I just drew it because I wanted a bit more variety of expressions, but I can't remember which one it is. Yeah, just some random sketches, not much to say. Tabby, my love. I think I can show this, right? Like, this isn't much. Maybe. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. I don't really like this sketch though. But Tabby, my love, ever since I redesigned her, she's become one of my wives. I'm an artist and I can make as many wives as I want. So, here's my goals recap. I accomplished 5. No. I had 5 goals, but I accomplished 3 of them, which isn't too bad. Honestly, some of them might be a little generous to say I accomplished them, but I just wanted to feel better about myself. And the final page. On the last page of the sketchbook, I always like to draw whoever I drew on the first page, so we've got Arietta here. Here's the brand of sketchbook. It's the Delusions Creative Journal by Ranger. Would not really recommend. If you don't do any finished illustrations in your sketchbook, like, at all, and, like, you just do sketches, I guess it's fine. But any form of finished illustration, whether it's, like, markers, paints, colored pencils, whatever. I guess I didn't really use colored pencils in here. If you use markers, watercolors, gouache, anything, it doesn't handle most things well. That is it for the actual sketchbook part. Let me open up this little bad boy. Here's some more cacti stickers. This is just some extra paint. I forget what it was I was painting. It might have been this, but I don't actually know. But I just had some extra paint on my palette, so I just threw some stuff. This, and then these are actually some flower petal washi stickers. These are also washi stickers, but just some flower petal stuff, and then a thing of washi tape. This is the same tape that was here, but it didn't last long, clearly. I don't normally have this many sketches on loose leaf paper. I flip through my sketchbook fairly regularly, but I very rarely open up this little pocket, so this is a treat for both of us. This isn't actually a sketch. This is just like a sheet of paper I would have, and if I used markers, I would slide it in between so I avoid any bleed through, or if I need to color over the edges. Here is a doodle of Phoenix and Edgeworth. Who would have thought? I drew both of these without using any sort of guidelines. I thought the Phoenix one turned out okay, and then the Edgeworth one is interesting. This I think I have to censor. I'll show you the belly button. And maybe the elbow. This is a little drawing of one of my characters, Lux. They're one of the main characters in the comic I'm working on. This was originally going to be a thumbnail for that video I made where I was going over my drawing process for digital art, but I didn't do this because I was running out of time, so I didn't have time to do like a full finished illustration, but I really like this sort of idea, so I kept the little drawing. A little doodle of Phoenix on a post-it note, a little doodle of Miles on a post-it note. This is the first time I called him Miles. He's always been Edgeworth. And a face. Do I have to censor this? I mean, it's just a face, but it's a picture of Delaney sneezing. It's a picture of Delaney pre-sneeze. Let's go with that. It seems like forever ago now that I talked about my target demographic and like what type of art I want to make and stuff, and since then I've become a lot more comfortable with drawing not safe for work stuff in areas where the world will see it, such as my sketchbook. I think this I gotta do. I think I have to censor this. A drawing of Mabel. There. You can see her face. This is a doodle of a character you can't see. Doodle of a character you can't see. This is a drawing of Arietta. I really like drawing her. She's one of my favorites. This was the main reason that I wanted this sketchbook, because I thought this folder was really cool, and I kind of liked how there is a cover to like the actual sketchbook, and then this had its own cover. I thought it was neat, but visually it's a lot nicer than how it is practically. A drawing of a character you can't see, a drawing of a character you can't see. Oh, and then there's Ash and Ellie. Look at them. Look at the siblings. They hate each other. Just personality-wise, they're so different. So, this I think is fine to show. It's not. She's covered. This I definitely can't show you though. And it's funny because it's like I'm showing everything that I can't show on camera, only for it to be censored later. I should definitely make a Patreon to show this sorts of things. Maybe soon. Here's a big drawing of Rory. Is that fine? There we go. What's this one? Oh, this is another big one. This is when I first started concepting this story. I really like them as a duo because they just don't get along and just so much chaos ensues. How can I get this in frame? It's a little fucked up because of how much I folded it, but also I wanted to put it in here and that's the only way it would fit. But that's it. That's all we have for this sketchbook. Now, per tradition, we have to do something chaotic with it. It's time to do some laundry. I don't sort my laundry because sorting laundry is for losers. Hey, Zola. Toss in my favorite snack. Alright. There it is, Sketchbook 19. It's just time to say goodbye to this, and honestly, good riddance, because I spent way too much time on it. When I first started this sketchbook, I was like, it's not a big one, it should only take me a few months to finish, and then I started working on that story, so it took me almost a year, and then I just started loathing working in it because I didn't like how most supplies worked in it, but we're gonna toss that aside. If you haven't seen it yet, here's my newer sketchbook. I have to zoom out, it's too big. It's not like super big. I think it's the regular like 8.5 by 11 size, but it's big enough to where it doesn't want to be in frame. But this is the Strathmore 500 series mixed media paper. I have been working in it, but I saved the front page for you guys because I'm gonna fill it in a sketch vlog. There we go. Let's give you a sneak peek. Here you go. Here's a nice spread for you. I'm hoping this one won't take me nearly as long for me to finish. I don't think it should take me too long. The pages are larger, but it's not super thick. That's all I really have for you for this video, so if you liked looking through my sketchbook with me, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know which pages are your favorite. Feel free to leave a comment telling me that I have a problem with Ace Attorney and how it's completely taking over my life and it's a little bit unhealthy. Or you can just say nice art. Or shitty art, I don't really care. You can tell me to stop being horny on main, whatever you want to do. And if you're excited for what I'm gonna create in this sketchbook, maybe consider subscribing. I am planning on posting a lot more videos of me sketching in my sketchbook now that I don't have to avoid drawing in my sketchbook anymore, so. And if you want to see more from me, you can follow me on social media. Those will be linked on screen, not linked on screen. Why do I keep saying that? They've never been linked on screen. They will be linked in the description box, but shown on screen. And if you want to see more videos of mine, there will be some on screen now. Those are linked on screen. And also in the iCard video, check out if you want. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.